Now to the future of media, potentially. Is this what it's going to look like? The man looking after the LA Times has said that he's going to introduce AI-powered bias meter on news stories. This has sparked a backlash in his newsroom because obviously they're a bit offended. What are you saying? We're biased? I mean, I don't know what's crazier, that you're admitting you're biased by introducing the idea of a bias meter, or you're getting AI who is programmed by also undoubtedly somebody else who's biased to then be the arbiter of bias in your content. I mean, this is just madness. But here he is, Los Angeles Times owner Patrick Soon-Shiong, who blocked the newspaper's endorsement of Kamala Harris and plans to overhaul its editorial board, says he will implement an artificial intelligence-powered bias meter on the paper's news articles to provide readers with, quote, both sides, end quote, of a story. It makes you wonder, since this guy did block the paper's endorsement of Kamala Harris, is he just reading the tea leaves? We know MSNBC's ratings have gone through the floor, so has CNN's. Mainstream media, regime media is very much on the nose right now in America. Americans feel lied to because you should have tuned into Sky News. And so he's simply trying to, I think, dissuade people from treating his publication in a similar way, saying, well, firstly, we didn't side with the Dems. We knew that that would have been backing a losing horse, so didn't do that intentionally. Secondly, since people accuse us of being biased, I'm going to put in this meter, which will give you both sides of every story from now on. I mean, it's on the one hand, it sounds like a good idea, but on the other, you're just mate, that's going to be even worse, because then you've got the bias in the article and then the bias of AI layered on top. How is anyone supposed to get to the bottom of anything?
Journalists are meant to be in touch with their audiences and in touch with their communities and in touch with what's really happening. You know, they're meant to have the finger on the pulse, right? And the reason why so many journalists in the US completely failed to even see the possibility that Donald Trump was going to win, let alone absolutely romp it in, is because they are living in such tiny bubbles, that they're living in ivory towers. They are horrendous cultural snobs and elites, and they simply do not know, do not mix with the sort of people who'd had it up to the back teeth with how things were going and were going to vote for Donald Trump in droves. And so you've got a newspaper that is staffed by people who are incredibly elitist and out of touch. And the solution they come up with to solve this problem is the most elitist and out-of-touch solution you could possibly have to find. Because instead of saying to the newsroom, all right, guys, how did we get this wrong? Why did no one pick this up? I want you to get out there into the communities that voted for Donald Trump, find out why, find out what is happening in America that we missed. Why is Middle America at odds with California? Hire people who come from different backgrounds to work in the newsroom. Hire people maybe not from the conventional J schools that teach people how to be, you know, postmodern Marxist deconstructors of media narratives and actually know how to get in the community and write stories about the issues that people care about. That is the way you fix that problem. But the problem is that obviously he and the people around him are so hopelessly out of touch with what is actually going on. And again, my mate Timmy G picked a Trump win. You don't need AI, but they've said, oh my God, we don't know what's happening. No one we know about Donald Trump, what is happening? Oh my God, what are we going to do? Oh, we'll get AI to fix our bias problem. Like, that is just so moronic. That is just, it's like saying, I haven't paid my taxes, I'll get the Terminator to blow up the ATO. Like, it is just so dumb and so dangerous, because of course what does then happen if someone gets hold of the AI algorithm, makes that bias to or against the
Well, we already know how biased the AI algorithm is. We did plenty of stories on say something good about Biden and it would wax lyrical. Say something good about Trump. Sorry, can't do that. Nothing good to say about that guy, and so on and so forth. So we already know that this is not a solution.
Point being, this is a problem that is very, very obvious and very, very easy for human beings to solve. And the fact that they're throwing their hands in the air and said, oh, there's nothing we can possibly do, we better hire a robot to be the biasometer, is just the most knuckle-draggingly stupid prehistoric Neanderthal response. And that's insulting to Neanderthals because they were actually a lot more advanced than people think and interbred with Homo sapiens.